Once you give yourself permission to acknowledge what you want, the next step is to see how often you embrace and accept what it is you say you want. To be really clear, this requires awareness and sometimes a pause so that you can regroup. But then you have to also keep a few things in mind to make sure that you really have this honed in for yourself. So ask yourself a couple of questions, 3 specifically. Do you compromise what it is you want to make others in your world comfortable or happy? This very often can feel like a negotiation or a compromise. This is also a habitual way of living. And let me give you some common examples that I see and that I've recovered from. I'll just take the middle seat on an airplane so that my spouse, child, friend, or parent is more comfortable. I don't want them to be uncomfortable. I can manage. Or if I let this person in the grocery store go in front of me, they don't have as many things as I do. They look very busy, even though I'm really busy too, but my good deed will come back to me later on. That people don't realize is a negotiation. Or maybe this is super common where you say, I'm not going to go to that workout class that I really love, whether it's yoga or spin or Pilates or whatever it is that you love to do, but you're not going to go to that one so that you could spend time and accommodate somebody else's schedule, somebody that you appreciate and love. But what ends up happening on the back end is you don't make the class the next day either because something else came up. So you're constantly in this spiral of negotiating for the other person instead of for yourself. A second question or piece that you have to become aware of is, does your life reflect what others want you to be versus who you want to be? And this can show up in ways that are seemingly bigger. So a career choice that you are now in, or what you studied in college because it's what your parents wanted you to do and it felt easy and it was good to go in that direction. It was secure and stable. Or maybe you fell into a family business or started supporting your husband or your wife's goals and dreams. The other example in that scenario where you're being what somebody else might want you to be and you don't even realize it is that you behave in the way that others have grown to expect. So because that's what a parent does, a sister does, a friend does, an employee does, or even the hardest one to define, that is what a good person does. This brings me to the last point, in which, do you know what you want? In any given moment, on any given day, if you were asked, what do you want? Can you clearly articulate it? I know a lot of us go from, I have no idea, and I just go with the wind, or, heck, I kind of would, this would be okay, or that was going to be all right. But I mean specifically, what would you like for lunch? How do you want your coffee? What do you want to do after work? Are you doing what you want in your career or business? Do you want to change something about your body or the way you relate to someone that you love? These are the precursors. Those 3 intimate questions start to begin a journey of self-awareness. And they're the precursors for manifesting what you really, really desire. To sum it up, you must be aware of how you make choices and if you are living from a place and a space that is authentically you. And that is why at times you have to pause. So going into the next step to go into a manifesting place, you want to stop chasing and start embracing your best life. And if you know what that is, then great. Stop watching. But if you're watching this, I know you're driven, I know you're accomplished, and I know you're always striving for something more, because that is the type of person that I attract and who I support when they are shifting from a place of overwhelm and exhaustion to empowered and aligned. And so you are in the right place if you are somebody who's ready to manifest your life differently. The way to do this is by challenging the norm. This isn't a mindset hack. That's not what this is, or a reframe only. It's a profound shift that will change the way you approach success, relationships, and your own sense of worth. It is the basis of empowered living, and it involves 3 principles: knowing your value, and knowing that it's more than your personal achievements and how much you sacrifice or help others. By truly believing in your inherent value, you are able to identify and see the path for your best growth opportunities. You're able to protect your peace of mind so that you can amplify your impact, and you're able to honor meaningful experiences and relationships. So really what that means is you don't spread yourself too thin, because you value yourself so much. And then the second principle centers around releasing the expectation that you must be endlessly, tirelessly productive. When you drop that comparison, well, look what they've accomplished, and I don't have kids, but they do, or look where this person is at their age, and look where I am, that changes almost 50% of what goes on in your headspace. And you can dream from a place of authenticity. So it doesn't matter what that person is doing, because you don't care anyhow. It doesn't relate to you. And you're able to focus on how to align your actions with your values. Lastly, the flow and ease is a requirement for success, because you will no longer just endlessly produce but not feel spacious while doing it. And then the third principle to living in an empowering way really is understanding what manifestation is. And it's a mix of faith and clarity in action. Having faith in yourself enables you to visualize the life you want and behave as if it's already here. You trust in the process by taking the correct action for you, and you surround yourself with people and environments that are positive. So you no longer will tolerate the negativity that is around you. Sounds great, right? Well, it is, but it can feel overwhelming without tips to apply it practically. And that is what makes me different. I am deeply committed to breaking big concepts down into manageable steps that you can implement right now that will make a difference in how you approach life. This is why I specialize in working with ambitious, heart-centered people like you who also have full schedules. Because transformation doesn't have to be hard. It can be, but it doesn't have to be hard. It's about partnering with your body, aligning with what it is you really want, and moving forward with clarity and confidence. So here are the practical gems that get you starting living from a place of empowerment. The first one is give yourself permission to prioritize joy for yourself. Where in your life can you create more space for joy and ease and luxury? Even a shift in how quickly you have your morning routine, coffee, can change the energy for the entire day. Maybe you sit and drink it quietly over the course of 5 minutes instead of rushing out the door, spilling it on your coat, putting it in your car pocket, and then having it slosh around while you're driving to work. Ask yourself what you truly want. This is the second piece. Ask yourself what you truly want. This is a practical question, not what you think you should want or what others expect from you, but what you crave. Write it down. No matter how audacious it is, frankly, the more outrageous but specific, the better. And act as if you already have what you want. When you act with the confidence and the energy of someone who has already achieved their dreams, you shift your reality to match what it is you have or will have in the very near future. This is the magic behind manifestation, and it feels absolutely fantastic. Regularly implementing these 3 practical gems, you live a life of flow, alignment, and luxury. And this is what my empowerment pillar within my HEAL program addresses. This pillar specifically addresses how you can create a roadmap that reflects your unique version of success, right? Because it's based on what you truly want, authentically want. And it allows you to break free from limiting beliefs and fears. This pillar also elevates your professional and personal status with grace and ease. And to make sure you've locked this in, take a moment today to reconnect with what you want over the next year. Make it audacious, specific, and wildly joyful. Because the bolder you step into you, the more power you have to see and accept what you dream of when it presents itself in the quiet or very large ways. So wherever you are watching this, let me know one of the things you're ready to embrace or release so you can have the life you truly want, the dream that you think is out of reach, but also possible. Until next time, live in health, alignment, and luxury.